Howdy, howdy, howdy. This is Robert Stoll of the Stoll Review, and you are probably wondering where the panel show is. Well, I'm trying something new and mixing it up and making commentary videos on some recent debauchery I've seen recently. For now, these kinds of things will be irregular, but on the chance I do get to make more than one video a week, I hope I can do these more frequently as to diversify the content of my channel. As is the case with the other YouTubers who do this, sources will be in the description below. And anyways, on with the show. As many have noted, we have lost our own Lizzie F620. For many of us, she has been a constant rock. She's investigated for Gamergate, she's written on Gamergate, but now unfortunately has been taken away from the community by a malicious doxer who actually doxed her, releasing private pictures of her kids as well as apparently getting the floor plans for her home. I won't read her entire final address which she released on Reddit, and really I can't say much more that hasn't already been said. But if there is one part of that address that I feel I can elaborate on, it is this. This was not the work of GG, or anti-GG, or KIA, or Ghazi, or HN, or Bah. Don't blame groups. Don't guilt by association. This is the responsibility of whoever posted it and no one else. My life and my family are not politics, nor are they chess pieces in a match. They are mine, and only mine, and I ask that both sides respect this. How very key this phrase is. I think we can all agree this has gotten ugly. The gaming community has been split, and with no way out, Liz is frankly right. Spitting acid, even in the face of those who may deserve it, will get us nowhere. Now, if you ask me, it was the aggros who were responsible, not for the doxing, but for creating the conditions in which the doxing happened. However, while the irrational side of me may tempt me to go tweet how aggros as a collective did this, the more rational part of me inevitably reminds me of the sentiment Liz expresses in that phrase. For beyond someone who generally opposes us, we are dealing with individuals. Knowing this gives us a tool that someone like a groupthinker from the anti-Gamergate side doesn't have. We know that certain individuals, for example, just want attention for their own personal reasons. We can react accordingly. Not giving them the time of day and starving their Patreons, only responding when necessary, these sorts of things that can really help us focus away from the literal who's such as Brianna Wu, Anita Sarkeesian, and those who, frankly, while they have a part of Gamergate, they have a very small part of Gamergate. Others are just merely inconsequential. People like Angry Joe, Will Wheaton, the entirety of BuzzFeed, as individuals, they have very little worth that, frankly, it's irresponsible, in my opinion, that Gamergate ever tried to address them at all. This isn't to say we can't or even shouldn't rebuke anyone if they do become an issue, but that instead of seeing these people as threats, or as seeing them as this general anti-Gamergate force that we must reckon with, we can see the individual properties that we can use to exploit them, sort of like the weak point on a video game boss. We can, for example, when the BuzzFeed incident happened where they pulled an article that was positive on Gamergate, Twitter reacted very badly, trying to contact BuzzFeed for basically trying to censor Gamergate. Now, this should all sound very familiar, except for with one thing. While BuzzFeed isn't owned by Gawker, BuzzFeed has a long history of, well, to put it kindly, clickbaiting, for following an SJW agenda, for all these sorts of things that Gamergates are critical of. I don't know who the hell thought it would be a good idea to even put the article up there, because, well, they will never be on our side. As such, we shouldn't really be trying to go for them. In fact, we should be targeting their sponsors as well. is this what happened to BuzzFeed? No, we tried to actually get them to publish the article again. That's the very definition of not smart, since they would never be on our side anyways. The thing that started Gamergate, the thing that really made Gamergate successful, is when we went after individuals, when we said that such and such a publication or such and such a journalist has done such and such a misdeed, and not only do we need to tweet at them, we need to be smart and we need to target funding. It was this sort of thinking that made Gamergate, and really, and was really sort of a good example of picking and choosing our battles. We couldn't hit all publications, and so we chose just the most offensive ones, and we went after them. That was smart, and I think that's what we need to do now. Not saying that we don't, but I've seen examples on Twitter of people who haven't, and it's not very heartening, to say the least. If anything, I think this is what we as a community can take away from the demise of Liz. The aggro side will inevitably use more general arguments, but we don't have to. We know who did it. We don't need to, she states, blame groups or guilt by association. It's something that we need to sorely remember now more than ever, now that the public pressure's on. This is the time to shine, Gamergate, and that's really all I can really add on the subject. As always, this has been Robert Stoll of the Stoll Review, and remember to stay based.